Kanye West, man. This is some scary stuff. Kanye is, after he went on his whole quote-unquote anti-Semitic rant, got dropped from all these companies, lost billions of dollars. There is somebody that he's right now in Dubai making music with Tyler Dollar Sign. There's somebody who's had bad negative energy with Kanye who actually followed him to his Dubai hotel, and they caught him, which is very weird. That's some sketchy stuff, man. Hopefully Kanye is okay and it doesn't lead to anything crazy, but it's very weird. So let's go over the article. Kanye West reportedly believes he is being followed by his ex-personal trainer, Harley Pasternak. According to Daily Mail, Pasternak is in Dubai and staying in the same hotel as West and his children. West has yet to comment on the apparent presence of his former trainer in Dubai, but a source told the publication this development is extremely suspect. We have grave concerns as to what this creepy operative is doing in Ye's hotel, they said. The timing is extremely suspect. We are very concerned indeed about his motives and intentions. This is the man who threatened to drug Ye to Zombieland. Why has he suddenly shown up here? Kanye West and Harley Pasternak have a deep history beyond fitness, with the rapper hospitalized in 2016 after an alleged psychotic break while at the personal trainer's home in Hollywood. West was subsequently diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but has since claimed to have been misdiagnosed. Last year, he leaked alleged text messages from Pasternak, which said, "First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact, and not some crazy fact that some dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to Zombieland forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same." That's a very scary thing for someone to say to you. West later deleted the post but blamed Pasternak for his hospitalization. He said, "What should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand for my truth regardless of the consequences, so I will say this again. I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make me a manageable, well-behaved celebrity." Wow. Pasternak has also made a number of claims about West's mental health in a recent interview in New York Times, where he said he witnessed the rapper writing Bible verses on the bedsheets and drawing spaceships with a Sharpie during his 2016 breakdown. Pasternak additionally claimed that West was packing suitcases full of pots, pants, and Tupperware. Listen, I go back to the moment when Dave Chappelle had his issue with Comedy Central. If you're too young or you don't know this incident, basically, Dave had his show, Dave Chappelle's show, and it was performing really well, like beyond the expectations of Comedy Central that signed him to do this show. So when they all of a sudden started selling insane DVDs at the time, this is 2003, 2004, 2005, around there. So DVDs were selling, blah, blah, blah. They were selling insane. They broke records for DVD sales on TV shows, breaking records in viewership. When Dave Chappelle went to go renew the contract for the show, they basically ultimately wanted full control and weren't paying him properly for everything that he was doing. He was doing a lot of work, and people just weren't paying him properly. They were owning a lot more than what they're supposed to own. And then Dave Chappelle said, I don't want to do this deal, and just backed out of the whole thing. And, the media twisted it as Dave Chappelle going crazy, as he's doing drugs, and he's lost his mind because he went to Africa and just escaped everything. But then when he came back to do interviews, he's like, I never lost my mind. Like, all these medias were saying crazy stuff. I didn't do none of that. I was just chilling. I was taking a break from everything. I didn't want to do these things, and explain himself. And then people were like, whoa, that's kind of weird, because we're sitting hearing all these things about you being a crazy maniac and doing all these crazy things, and this is why you went to Africa, but that was not the case. So the media can twist things, and people around, Kanye is somebody who's very, just speaks his mind for the most part. And, media doesn't really like that. Let's be honest here. If Kanye says certain things, like George Bush doesn't care about black people, that immediately cut to like Chris Tucker. That was one of the funniest cuts ever on live TV. Because Chris Tucker was just sitting there like, what the hell is going on? Like, what did I just hear? But Kanye is just outspoken, so medicating him is a nice way to get him to not do that anymore. But then, people are saying he's crazy, diagnosed this and that. He's saying I was misdiagnosed. But we've seen stories of celebrities being claimed as crazy when in reality they're not. So, I'm not saying I agree with everything Kanye says, because that's not what I'm saying. But when Kanye went on that anti-Semitic, quote-unquote, rant, If you watch full interviews, like 80% of the stuff he was saying was pretty normal and real facts of things. Now, there's about 20% it's a little crazy, and that's where Kanye kind of loses people's attention and kind of makes those crazy headlines because he just spews immediately what he thinks. And that's the problem. If he takes his time out to, think about what he's saying, it would, come out better and, there would be less crazy headlines. But that crazy headlines is what attracts people to the interview too. So it could be a positive and negative thing. It can make people never like Kanye again because they just read the headline and just assume that's what the interview is about. Or it can attract people to actually go watch the full interview. Me personally, when people get accused of things or just, labeled things or short clips get posted as, yo, this person said this, I actually look into it. If I have time, I'll watch the interview, the full thing, and see what was coming out of this. There's like a story of Whoopi Goldberg saying that she believes like the new generation of kids or young adults are lazy and that's why they can't afford houses. And I was like, did she really say that? So I went into the actual View, show, watched the clip. It was like probably like a 5-minute clip, and she does say that because they ask questions about like, oh, what do you think about the market, housing market, and young adults aren't really buying houses anymore, living with their parents. And she goes on this whole tirade of like, oh, they're lazy, blah, blah, blah. We used to strap our boots, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's so out of touch. Another multimillionaire. It's completely out of touch of what reality is. So I just wanted to go see if that was actually true, because if she said that, because it was tweeted, and I was like, is this like a legitimate thing? The way the photo was put looked like a fake. So I actually looked into it. And that's what I do with a lot of things. I try to look into them, make sure it's actually real before I react to anything. But wild, man. This guy's like flying to Dubai and actually keeping an eye on Kanye, man. So that's very weird, man. And it should be very like they should be on edge about it. And hopefully they are. And they're very, on point with things when it comes to what Kanye's doing over there.